Hello and welcome everyone to another painting video from Twisted Dice. I'm Darren and today I'm going to take you through on how to speed paint an Imperial Guard troop within 20 to 30 minutes. Now if you haven't already, please do hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to be reminded of any other cool content that's coming out from ourselves at Twisted Dice. So first off, I undercoated this model in the new Wraithbone primer from GW. The first colour on the palette is going to be the Skeleton Horde from the new contrast paint range. Now this was applied over all the fabric areas of the model itself. The Skeleton Horde actually went down very nicely on the actual cloth areas itself, and I find so far with the contrast it does really work well upon cloth or to represent cloth. So next up I'm going to be using the new contrast Orc Flesh. Now this is a green that I've already previously done on one of my painting tutorials on Twisted Elite, and I actually really do like this colour green and the way it comes out. So now next up is going to be the Gila Man Flesh with the contrast medium. It's very important that you do a mixture of 50-50 of the medium with the flesh itself. I find if you go straight in with the actual Gila Man Flesh itself, it brings it out too dark. Putting the medium in, you can then at least give it a couple of coats and it does a much better result from the actual flesh. Next up we're going to be going in with a really cool black that so far I've been really pressed with this black from the contrast range, and all I'm literally doing now is just going over like the boots, anything metallic, so like the butt of the rifle, the knife, anything I'm going to be using a metal coat over it. This black contrast paint goes over really nicely, and I don't have to go over many coats, so just one coat is plenty enough for this job. Okay, so next up I'm going to be using Wildwood, and then all I'm literally going to do on this bit is just put it in for the parts that I'm going to be looking for the shade for the lighter brown that I'm going to be applying next. So as you can see, I'm going in with snakebite leather, and I'm just going over the knife satchel itself. As you can see, with the paint still wet from the previous colour, it's blended in quite nicely, and I don't really have to do much manipulation on it. It's just working its way, doing its magic and doing it all itself. So going back in with the Wildwood again, I'm now going to start working upon the base itself. Once I get to certain stages, I normally do like to start doing the base just so I can see where I'm at with the actual model itself. And as you can see, this Wayward brown actually goes down on the base really nicely. Don't have to do many coats, it just gets into all the crevices and gives the effect that I'm looking for. Next up, I just want to start picking out all the gold parts, all the Imperial Eagles on the actual model itself by using one of the GW base range of their gold. I'm beginning to start falling in love with the new Iron Warriors base silver that's just come out from Citadel itself. I find this is a really nice dark silver, and what it does do, going over the black itself, it really comes out really nice. Even just going over white, I'm finding it's going over quite nicely as well. So far I've been really impressed with the new Iron Warrior silver. So going in with the bases, starting off with the Move Fang, and all I'm doing with this is I'm just doing a heavy dry brush over the actual Wildwood itself. I'm not worrying where the actual Move Fang actually drops. All I'm looking for is a little bit of the actual the darker brown to come up through the actual Moon Fang itself. Next up is the Steel Legion drab, and then all I'm going to be doing now is going in with another coating of a dry brush, but this time I'm not going in as heavy as I did with the Moon Fang. And as you can see, the brush I'm using is nothing fancy, it's just a cheap makeup brush that I've picked up from the pound shop a couple of days ago, and it works really well when doing dry brushing. And I really don't think you need to go out and actually go spend loads of money on dry brushes. These brushes actually work really well. Now all I'm doing here is just doing a very light dry brush. Okay, to start making this model pop a little bit more, just going to start putting in some details into the shoulder pad. So using the new base Sear Grey, I'm just going to start putting in some squad markings. All I've gone in with next was with a bright white, just added some more detail into the actual marking itself. Now I'm really sorry it didn't come out on camera very well. Just to make those squad markings look a little bit sharper, I'm going back in with the Orc Flesh straight from the pot, and all I'm doing is just straighten up those lines and just making it look a little bit more crisp. So now at this point, this model is now ready for tabletop standard, and it's probably taken me about between 18 to 20 minutes to get to this standard itself. So what I'm going to be taking you through next is just adding that little bit of finesse to the model itself, starting to add the little bits of battle damage, bullet chips, bits where you might have knocked it on like this, on bits of stone, up against railings, and this just gives that little bit extra detail to the model itself. So starting in with the camo green, or green camo, all I'm doing is just starting to put off the fresh parts of the chip. So this would be the parts where the paint is just chipped off, and this is like the freshly painted or the newer paint that's underneath the actual troops' armour. Depending on how far you want to go with the detail, with this model I did apply a bit of dried bark into into the green camo. Now this is to represent where like maybe the mud or the dirt had actually got into the chips of the armour, or where it's starting to rust, and then just to top it off with little dots of silver into the brown areas, just to look like it's gone through to the actual metalwork of the armour. And that's it, it's done to a tabletop standard. As I said, it's not going to win you Golden Demon or Best Painted, but it does give you a chance to have a cool looking, colourful army on the tabletop. Now if you did like this painting video and you would like to see more from Twisted Dice, please do a massive great favour, do hit that like and subscribe, and please don't forget to hit that bell. That bell will notify you when anything cool comes out from Twisted Dice, and hopefully we'll catch you all again soon. And if you haven't already, you can check us out on Facebook. We are running a painting competition at the moment, so you get a chance to win some cool dice, and we're also on Twitch every Wednesday night, where we have guests come on to talk about various things, tournaments, hobby and general chat. So if you want to check us out on that, look for Twisted Dice TV on Twitch. Hopefully we'll catch you all again soon. Many thanks. Bye bye.